by the majority. Tired of complacency, ready for the anarchy, 'cause what's left to lose? Everything is lost. Time to turn to the new. Stand in your ground, hold it. Man-made earthquakes shake the foundation of centuries of colonies. Time for erasure of stains. Questions. Whys.
Pinkies up, y'all.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Pinkies up. It's time for tea. Wake up.
Yes, pinkies up, bitches.
Or wind down. I don't know what your wave is right now, but I'm your guy, John Tell, joined by one of our co-hosts, Meg. How you doing, Meg?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, love?
I am calm. I am happy. I'm loved. I feel safe. I'm tired.
Yes.
However,
You are here.
Exactly. I was going to say I'm living. So same thing.
Yes.
Yes. So I can't complain. How about you?
I'm good. I'm thankful and blessed.
That's right. Thankful and blessed. That's right. Because, here at the T, we provide the news. We provide the interviews, the commentary, pop culture, politics, the news, music, all that. Nothing is off the table. And you know what we say, things can get spilled when you don't censor a dish. Raw news and resources that we mix with history. We're here to be true, authentic, independent media. So what Kool-Aid are you drinking? Because we've got some tea for you, a healthy dose of information that will feed your soul, inform, and educate. We want to thank you. Thank you for viewing and supporting. If you would like to support more, get your notifications set to be informed when we are live. If you are watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And if you are looking into advertisement opportunities, interviews, or want to provide information, DM us on Facebook, email us, or text us at the contacts at the bottom of the screen. If you're looking to donate to a cause, you can find out how at the bottom of the screen as well. So we might as well go ahead and get into it.
Yes, take a sip.
Let me take a sip. Shit. Yes. All right. So in labor news, Amazon has suspended 50 workers who refused to go back to work after a fire broke out inside a warehouse in Staten Island, New York. Workers said it was not safe to go back due to smoke and flooding. The suspensions occurred at the only unionized Amazon warehouse in the U.S. This comes as the Amazon Labor Union is calling on the company to stop stalling and start negotiating.
Imagine that. They were sending a sign, honey.
Right? Yeah, I don't know about this, fam. What you think, Meg?
Oh, I think they were sending a sign, and I'm sure they got it loud and clear. Like, that's crazy.
I smell some foul play at hand because right, they don't want to pay up. They don't want to pay their employees what they deserve, a living fair wage.
Right. And it's easier for insurance money to get paid out.
True.
Mhm.
Wow.
Liabilities, honey. And it's easier for insurance money.
Facts. Counterintelligence agent helped DeSantis scheme to send migrants to Martha's Vineyard. The New York Times has confirmed the identity of a woman who played a key role in recruiting and tricking a group of 48 Venezuelan asylum seekers in Texas to board a flight to Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. As part of a political ploy by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The Times identified the woman as Perla Huerta. She is a former combat medic and counterintelligence agent who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. She was discharged by the Army in August.
Wonder why.
Right. The group Lawyers for Civil Rights has filed a class action civil lawsuit against Huerta, DeSantis, and others involved in the scheme.
Interesting.
Yep.
Sip, sip, honey.
Yes. Filipino journalist has been killed near Manila. A veteran 63-year-old broadcaster was shot dead near his home. Rest in peace.
Wow.
UN urges extension of ceasefire in Yemen. 30 Palestinian prisoners on hunger strike against Israeli administrative detention. They're held by Israel, and now they're in their second week of an open-ended hunger strike to protest the administrative detention. The Israeli policy of holding Palestinians without charge for up to years at a time. The hunger strikers include the French-Palestinian human rights lawyer who has been held without charge for 6 months based on secret evidence.
What?
Yeah. At
He
least
sounds like
15
Trump.
Yeah. At least 15 die inside overcrowded prison in Ecuador.
Mm-mm.
And those pieces, those articles are from Democracy Now. You can go ahead and check that out. And shout out to our people. Shout out to Soup, Family Soup TV, our people. Yo, Meg, what do you want the next story to be, fam?
Let's do the article about the Arkansas police officers being fired to the abuse. Yes. I want to know why they're not charged, though.
True. Okay. So 2 Arkansas deputies videotaped in a violent arrest are fired. The Crawford County Sheriff's Office did not give a reason for the terminations, and the state police said a special prosecutor is reviewing the case.
I wonder what kind of special prosecutor is. Are they employed by the state?
Right. Deputies Zach Kling and Levi White were fired 1 to 2 weeks ago. The administrative assistant for the sheriff's office does not know the exact date of the termination and said she would not disclose the reason why they were fired.
Because they beat somebody the fuck up is why they were fired. And somebody got that on video. It sucks to be them.
A bystander recorded a 34-second video of King, White, and Mulberry. Police officer Thel Riddle arresting Randall Worcester outside a convenience store in Mulberry, about 137 miles northwest of Little Rock. Wow. One of them repeatedly punches the man's head and smashes it into the pavement, while another knees him over and over as the third holds him down.
Yeah, we watched that video. That was disgusting.
The 3 men were suspended with pay. Again, the 3 men were suspended with pay.
What the hell?
With pay.
Mm-hmm.
With
But
pay.
then they were fired. So they have to pay that back or not?
We paid him to kill somebody and to sit home.
Right.
And
not get any consequences to their actions.
There you go.
Because
Video
why? Abuse of power.
Yo, hitting the tail. Yo, hitting right on. Yes. The 3 men were suspended with pay after the video was posted on social media and sparked widespread outrage. The August 21st incident drew condemnation from Arkansas governor and prompted state and federal investigations. Neither King, White, or Riddle was wearing body cameras, and video from the Mulberry police vehicle's dash cam has not been released. The Arkansas State Police has said the officers were responding to a disturbance call when they came upon Worcester. DeMonte said Worcester has been questioned for threatening a female employee at a convenience store with a knife and spitting on her in the nearby town of Alma. This does seem familiar now that I'm here.
Yeah, we watched the video.
Oh, man.
They beat the hell out of the boy. Like, he was fucked up when he got released from jail.
Breaks my heart. So I will say that again.
I said he deserves justice. Them being fired isn't like classified to me as justice.
Talk about it.
They need criminal charges just like me and you would get if we beat somebody's fucking ass. Let's be serious.
Being fully transparent here, we'd be 6 feet under.
Exactly.
This next story, do you want to go ahead and read it off for people? Can you see it?
So it says no foul play suspected in the death of University of Akron student in parking garage. A University of Akron student died of a suspected suicide in campus parking garage on East Exchange Street, according to a university spokesperson. University of Akron, Akron Police, and the Summit County Medical Examiner's Office responded at 8 a.m. Thursday to the parking dock. We are saddened to share the news of the passing on the campus community. The campus said in a statement Thursday morning. So that's like hardly no information they put out. They said list of resources for anyone in the need of support. We have programs, resources, and supported professionals available to help with the news or any issues in your life. The accident happened less than a day after another apparent suicide happened in a public place in Akron. A 51-year-old woman was driving around 5 p.m. Thursday and just north of downtown when she struck another vehicle, got out of her car, and leaped over the side of the bridge. Oh, wow. Another person can call, or anyone can call free and confidential, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. And we'll put this in the comments. The phone number is 1-800-273-65, or I'm sorry, is it 8255?
8255, or text talk to 741-741. Y'all, I'm putting it in the comments now.
Yeah, you are never alone, for real. Never jump off the side of a bridge, man. That's like the worst way to go, for real.
But
like, I couldn't imagine that.
To the main part of the story, what I'm pointing out is it seems like police officers were maybe hazing, or they weren't the police cadets were not listening or something.
There's definitely something else that they're not saying. Like, was it a mental health emergency, A, or B, was it a hazing incident and them trying to cover it up?
Right.
Because hazing instances are happening like at a very like exponential rate right now for whatever reason. Prospecting.
And I'm not downplaying suicide either, but you know,
definitely.
what I wanted
There's
to say,
always the root of the problem.
Right. I wanted to just real quick. I was getting this story mixed up with this, so I jumped the gun, which is an LAPD officer dying in training accident at a police academy. So we'll get to that in a second. But I do want to go back to this with the University of Akron student, because they said suspected suicide, because it could it could be foul play here. It just, I don't know. Is anyone in the Akron area around can give us more detail on these stories? Definitely hit us up. Text us at 484-909-0873. Email us at theleonblock@gmail.com.
That's just like the incident that happened in Millersville where the student was found like not very long or not very far away from the campus. I think that
Wow.
was a cover up too. Because I mean, it's the same way as it is with the jails. Like the universities, the big colleges, they're going to do whatever to protect their liabilities, which is
Yep.
their asses. You know,
Yep.
like that's their main concern because again, they have shareholders and stockholders.
It's all about the money. Follow the money.
Right. Follow the money. Yep.
So as we were saying, LAPD officer dies in training accident at a police academy.
That is odd.
Right. A Los Angeles police officer died Sunday, days after he suffered a spinal cord injury during a training exercise at the Elysian Park Academy. The incident happened Thursday, according to LAPD Chief Michelle Moore. Officer Houston Tipping worked out of the Devonshire Division. His age was not immediately released. According to the chief, Tipping was working as a... Let's just hear from the story.
Lost his life. Hetty?
Chuck and Colleen, tonight we learned 69-year-old Stephen Reyes was just getting off work last night here at Tony's Market when he noticed that group of teens trying to steal the beer. It was right here on the sidewalk where you see the candles and flowers, where police say that he went after the group of teens and one of them struck him on the head with an electric scooter.
He definitely loved what he did.
Even at nearly 70 years old, Stephen Reyes' daughters say he was always working. For the past few months, their father worked
You know,
as a
I just
clerk
realized...
at Tony's Market.
Meg, that's a completely different story that they have to this article. That's really strange. Anyway, y'all.
In LAPD, there is a gang that does do the prospecting just as well as the others. So that's something good to keep in mind. Could it be something to do with that?
Right. And just like you pointed out with the last article, this one doesn't give much details either. And I got this information based off of a tweet that someone gave me, which didn't have much information other than this as well. So just to point out how suspect I think this is more so what I'm trying to say, I guess.
That is a perfect example as why people need to deal with independent media.
Talk about it.
Definitely, because they only, the other media companies only do what they're paid to do by the government. Follow the money.
Follow the money. A Texas police officer fired after shooting hamburger-eating teenager. This is interesting.
Yeah, I definitely want to know what happened with this one.
Right. If it'll play for me. Well, I guess it doesn't want to play, but a Texas... Here it goes. Here it goes. Or not. Okay, then. Well, screw it. A Texas police officer who opened fire on an unarmed teenager eating a hamburger in a McDonald's parking lot has been fired. Look at this photo. You can see it in his body cam footage.
Oh, wow.
Cheek stuffed filled with beef and bun, and he gets attacked for eating.
Did he die or was he just shot?
I don't know. San Antonio officer James Bernard was fired after shooting Eric Cantu, who was 17, on October 2nd in a McDonald's parking lot. Police training commander Alyssa Campos said in a video statement released Wednesday. Officer James Bernard responded to a disturbance call at the fast food restaurant, police said, but Bernard was quickly distracted. You're distracted by a parked car. He claimed that the car evaded him the day before during an attempted traffic stop. Okay. So you go up to the car, guns blazing? A Texas prosecutor said in a statement Friday that he has not seen enough evidence to file charges against the teenager. While Sunday's shooting of an unarmed teenager by a then San Antonio police officer remains under investigation, the facts and evidence we have received so far led us to reject the charges against Eric Cantu for further investigation, end quote, according to Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez. This was video from the body cam footage from the police officer taken on October 2nd. So this was last week. Bernard had been off the force for less than a year, violated his training and police procedures after approaching the car. Body camera footage shows Bernard walking up to the teen's car, opening the driver's door, and ordering him to get out.
Just by default?
Yep. You got to be kidding me.
Pinkies up.
Pinkies up. Yeah, I need to take a sip. I got ginger ale tonight. That's all.
Yeah, I got root beer.
It should be some whiskey and some root beer.
For real. Some Henny.
Right. The officer abruptly opened the driver's door and ordered the driver out of the car before the arrival of backup officers that Brennan had requested. Cantu in the officer's body camera video looks toward Brennan while holding a hamburger, then backs the car away, striking the officer with the open door. Brennan then opened several times fire as the door closed and as Cantu drove away. Multiple bullets struck Cantu, who was found about a block away.
Wow.
There's nothing I can say in defense of that officer's actions that night, end quote, said the police chief, William McManus. I think what really happened initially was there was some contact made, but that did not justify the shooting. Cantu was hospitalized in stable condition and initially charged with evading police and aggravated assault. You got to be kidding me.
He was still charged after he was shot by police.
Yep. Quote, the facts and evidence we have received so far led us to reject the charges against Eric Cantu for further investigation. Gonzalez, the district attorney, has said no decision has been made on whether to pursue charges against Brennan, pending the outcome of a police investigation into the shooting itself.
Wow. I can't believe he still got charged after they shot him. Now, but the officer hasn't been charged. Now, please explain this to me.
But there's so many other people that we know that were the victim and got abused and used and then got charged with stuff that they did not do.
Right. 100%. So how does that work?
It works perfectly fine because the system is meant to be designed that way. You know? Well, give us, a couple minutes and we'll be right back. May go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we will get into another article. See you in a minute.
Looking to advertise your business to a diverse and conscious audience? Are you looking to give back to your community or have your voice heard? The Leon Block is looking for you. We want to provide people and small businesses with more traffic while connecting more people from all backgrounds, as well as integrating viewers more into what we do. Community is everything, Will you join us in helping build a better community? The Leon Block Independent Media Group is a grassroots independent media platform by the people seeking to fill the gaps news deserts have created. Left and socialist leaning, we are pro-black, and we cover stories of police brutality, human rights, environmental issues, racism, and more in a more in-depth way that the mainstream can't, won't, and doesn't provide. Our mission is to change the way citizens look at media, to embolden everyone to take part in politics and become an integral and active part of their community, to enrich all of our lives, and to combat racism. We focus on police-involved cases and incidents of racism, spirituality, world issues and news, history, music and art, environment, and many more. The Leon Block Independent Media is a network providing press, arts, and other media and resources aimed to better reconnect the most oppressed. We run daily web shows through social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and post information about current events or simple memes to make you think. We try to target different audiences, and we do not censor anyone as we seek to provide truth that mainstream media does not. Check out our websites. You can also reach out to us via email or text. And if you'd like to reach out for more information or more information on our sponsorship opportunities as well, please hit us up through text at 484-909-0873. Hope to hear from you.
Pinkies up. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. I don't have any more stories for y'all. I don't think Meg does, so we just going to chill and kick it for a minute. How's about that?
Sounds good, but let's get it.
So I've had a busy week, a very busy week. I've been drained. And so the name of the game for me this week has been self-care, right? And so, I'm the kind of guy that listens to the signs all the time. I'm constantly paying attention to what this means or what that means and applying it to my life and how I'm feeling at the time, right? So, Meg, as you know, we had a Put People First PA, which is an affiliate of Poor People's Campaign, if anyone is associated with that or understands or knows of the Poor People's Campaign. We had a retreat, a meeting, gathering in Central PA. Yes, rest, recharge, renourish, and restart. I've still got to do that. But it was some downtime today being able to connect and bond with some of my base building, organizing activists community, and sitting down and connecting and learning a few things, but also seeing where other people's minds were. And we did let go and let loose some, being able to express ourselves in ways that other people we knew would get it. We didn't have to explain too much of everything, unless we wanted to just talk about it, knowing that if people understand, yeah, that's cool, but we already know that we understand. Does that make sense? Well, you would know, you're a part of it. But go ahead.
I think that it is an amazing thing that they do, put you guys all together for a gathering, and it's so educational. Sure. Shout out to People First and National Union of the Homeless.
Yes. Forward together, not one step back. And so there was a lot of different activities that we did. It was a 3-day weekend. So tomorrow, though, it will be online. So I'll take part in some of that as well. So that was the ending of my week. I had a gig that I had to do Friday, which did not go as planned. And so I will tell you about this one story. We were It was a frustrated evening, and the gig did not go as planned. I can't stress that enough. And I had a long week, and I was stressed. I was gonna flip out at any moment. And so my producer / DJ, shout out to Ben Oaks, music correspondent here at the Leon Block, also was feeling quite the same. So we went across the street to the art park, and we're starting to set up. And this woman who was drunk and on who knows what drugs and was clearly having a mental health crisis at the time came over to us, yelling and screaming in our faces, anything she could to try and hurt us or our feelings. And if we made eye contact with her, she was coming lunging at us. And we kind of all took turns trying to protect one another from this woman. We didn't want her to hurt herself either. We could tell that she was hurting inside. And you see a lot of this in Lancaster. You see a lot of people, I'm sure, in your area of the woods, wherever you're listening from, that are homeless or distressed or just going through a whole big ass mess. I looked at her dead in the eyes. I'm like, do you want a hug? Do you need a hug? Can I hug you? And she's like, that's what you want, isn't it? And she just kept flipping out, right? But there was this guy walking up behind her. We all saw him. She didn't, because her back was turned, right? He walks up to her, turns her around quick, and gives her a hug. Just like holds her. She starts bawling in his in his chest, and then he like lets her go and keeps walking.
What?
And I looked at him. I just mouthed, "Thank you," and he gave me the nod. Wow. And he kept walking. And I looked to my homeboy, and I'm like, "That's all I was trying to do. I just wanted to give her a hug. She didn't want no hug." But it was all in the delivery, like I'm just the person, you're supposed to ask for permission. You don't want to violate someone's space, but right. She didn't want to be asked. She wanted someone. Yeah,
some people are already past that.
That's why she went looking for the attention that she was not getting to begin with.
And
it's just
and some people, it's like negative attention is better than no attention if you're that like hungry for it.
Yes.
It's like kids. Wow, that's so sad. But I'm happy that whoever that was, like, just showed kindness in that moment, because that's all that matters. Well, because that hug changed her perspective, and it, like, same with you, like.
But just the same, she was going through a mental health crisis, and not even 2 minutes later, the Lancaster police went woo woo right around the corner. So,
of course.
You know how the story goes.
And so she probably got locked up. I could probably look at the jail list from last night and tell you her name. That's disgusting. You know what? I'm gonna do that actually, because
the same situation before last year on the square, and this is a common occurrence. People are, you want to call it glitching from the matrix, or losing their minds, having mental health breaks. Why? Because of all the things that are going on in our world
that they're going through. Right. Lack of housing, healthcare, human rights, like lack of addictions and support services. It just the list keeps going on and on.
Talk about it. You know what we should start doing is making a segment of tea called Story Time, and we all take turns, like a story that we've learned from, no matter big or small, no matter if it's the past or something that just happened very recently. I think it could be very beneficial for us to share little stories and learn from one another, because that was something that was very telling for me. I had a really not horrible day, but I had a really trying day, and it wasn't a trying moment. It was kind of like, it was nothing. As far as like, it was a blip in my week,
It was a test into a testimony, honey.
Yes, and we all were just kind of trying to help her without harming anyone,
Right, or her harming herself.
That part, because she harbored a lot of energy, a lot of
like bad energy,
and bad energy in the sense of like she didn't like who she was.
Wow.
But some of the stuff she was yelling seemed like it was not my business, It
was like harbored in her thoughts. Yeah. She was going through something, and she just needed understanding, like, at that moment. And I'm glad that you was there to, like, even if it got on your nerves at the moment, like, you still knew what she needed. And
Right.
whether you were able to provide that, you still knew, like, because you were connected through community.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Just by compassion, you have to show people that. It's the practice of selflessness. And I think that's something that we all, like, traits that we all definitely have to practice.
We do. It's important because I didn't know what else to do but to try and connect. And we have to be clear and understand that the fundamental problem is the root. And when it comes to that situation, I immediately thought back to the situation very similar, except it was a guy who was walking down Queen Street a block over. I was at the square and we could see him coming. We could see him like lunging at people and literally trying to punch people in the face as they're walking by, a couple of kids, whatever. And he was in the middle of a break and he tried to do it to us and he tried to do it to us. And of course, eventually, maybe 15, 20 minutes later, the cops caught him down the street somewhere. He got into an altercation or something. But
wow,
this is common. And
right.
We were talking about, especially when you're poor and you're living in poverty, you've been impoverished your whole life. There's a multitude of things paths that one can go down automatically from living a life of poverty, right?
Right.
And it's increasingly so the point now that the government has orchestrated it or left you with pretty much two options: criminal or
right.
death.
Right. And they make mental health counselors like so hard to get. If you miss one appointment, they won't, see you again. You have to wait a year, and that's just like in our county. And then if you can't get a hold of your counselor at 7:00 at night when you have an emergency, like what else are you supposed to do? That's why the text number for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, they actually text you. They make it as comfortable as possible because they understand that, you're already going through something. You may not be able to talk about it out loud, or you may just need to communicate that without even, putting those a harsh reality to yourself even into the atmosphere, because that it matters as far as manifestation. We're planting seeds of growth and encouragement or love, or we're planting seeds of destruction and negativity and suffering. What do you want for yourself? I don't want to suffer. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to none of that. I'd rather plant seeds that people are growing and believe in themselves and show love, compassion, humanity. That's what this is about.
Yes. It's exactly what it's about.
And that's some tea, y'all. Pinkies up.
Pinkies up. That's right. The only way we will have change is if we bring leaders in and commit to the long haul, meaning connect through community. We are a force to be reckoned with. We are the media, all of us together. All of us together is what's going to help us grow and being a force. And also just simply sharing this stream or donating, it helps. It really does. If you feel like you can't hit the streets, if you feel like you can't keep up with information because you're too busy working, there's a multitude of ways that you can help to the cause. If you want real truth, real and raw news, as we all want, we've got to do it ourselves. Being informed is important, and we're going to change the way that everyone looks at media. Mainstream media has really done a number on things, but we are going to change that. All your support means so much. Every like, every comment, every discussion, it all means so much.
Yes, and you're changing lives throughout the community and bringing a realm of consciousness that people are not aware of because they don't, that's not their specialty. You could ask me anything about police officer involved shootings or jail deaths, but I can't add to save my life. So if we don't know better, we can't do better.
I don't know why the stream is not letting me air the comments, but there's a commenter on Facebook that stated police are worried about liability, so they 302 people, which negatively impacts people's lives.
Forever.
Shout out to Chris Young, thank you for that comment, and it's so correct. Spot on.
Right, and everybody check out Chris's petition for the Criminal Review Board at the Leon Block. We definitely support that, as we need transparency and accountability for the police officer involved shootings, the jail deaths. Civilian Review Board means that civilians in the county will actually go by and review these cases case by case and determine, like, as an outside third party source, if there was any crimes committed. So it'd be people like me and John Tell going through, like, voting yes, no, yes, no. That gives the community, something to fight for. It's a solution. And I would rather any day people have solutions than just have more problems.
Yeah.
So check it out, change.org, and we'll post the link in the comments.
That's right. Meg, always providing the tea in the form of information and ways and resources that you can embolden and empower yourself. If you think that you are powerless, she will give you receipts that'll show you, no, you have power. We all have power. Together, we are stronger. And we
Right.
here at the Leon Block Independent Media, it's one of our missions is to help you realize your light.
100%. If you can't, be the bridge, like, if you can't go over the bridge, then make the motherfucking bridge. We building the bridge over here. We defining it as we go. It's bridging the gap between the people that need the resources and the resources themselves.
That's right. We all we got.
Yep, exactly. We got to stand together.
Well, Meg, I think it's time to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us on Tea as always. Now, it's time for you to get it popping with Freedom for All. I think it's been a little bit.
Yes.
Yes. So stay tuned for that. Meg has some real raw
information. Yeah. There's a little city in Licking, Missouri that has had in the past month 7 prison deaths. And mysteriously, there's been 2 that was linked to lung cancer, which doesn't make sense, as well as the coroner down there is not doing autopsies, even though it's a jail death. They're just writing it off as like, oh, it was cancer. Well, it's easy to say somebody got cancer. Can you prove it? In a court, you got to prove it, right? Like evidentiary support. Yeah, these people these government officials in positions of power, they be getting away with too much. So check me out on Freedom for All as we discuss the injustices of our everyday life.
Yeah, and we've got a backlog of cases. So if you are looking for a volunteer position with Leon Block or would just like to help, send us information. Reach out to us. Hit us up. Email us at theleonblock@gmail.com. You can even text us at 484-909-0873. You can donate. The services at the bottom of the screen as well. Strolling across. We love hearing from y'all. We love interacting with y'all. And we want to thank you for tuning in and soaking up this information. We know we throw a lot at y'all. Meg, do you have any last thoughts before we wrap it on up?
What kind of Kool-Aid are you drinking?
That is right, y'all. What kind of Kool-Aid are you drinking? Because we have always got some tea for you.
Yes, honey. Pinkies up.
Pinkies up. Make sure you meditate on your path, celebrate your being, liberate your spirit, and educate yourself. I'm John Tell.
And I'm your girl, Meg, from Freedom for All. Have a good evening.
Bye.
See ya.